A very good evening to all of you. I am very happy that the hall is almost full. I was worried there might be some heavy rain today, whether people will be there in the hall. I was very much worried. So I invited my friend Anil Kulkarni, you please come. I told Muralidharan and family, my friend, to please come. If there is nobody, at least you should be there. When I came, I came a little early today. The reason is that I wanted to visit the library. Last many times, whenever I came here, Mr. Ramu used to tell about the library and other facilities. Today, I made it a point to come early, and I visited the wonderful library. Immediately, I told Ramu I would like to spend one full day in this library. What a wonderful, very, very well arranged, well kept library. Even to while going to upstairs, staircases, overall look of the premises, how cleanly you have kept this premises. Go to library and see the rich collection of books. I hope all of you are going to this library and getting books, giving to your children and grandchildren to read such good books, both in Kannada and English. Newspapers, more than 100 years old. Now, where we can get such good collection? I really got amazed at the rich collection there. So, was so happy to spend some time in the library. Ramu has already mentioned about the topic today. Whenever I hear the introduction by Ramu, I'll get disappointed. Ramu has told so many important things which I have not prepared. So I get a lot of points from Ramu when he gives the introduction. In fact, I should have taken some inputs from Ramu before I prepared for this. Today, this is my 7th lecture in Gokhale Institute of Public Affairs. And I think almost all the lectures were in July and mostly 1st of July, same day. 2 days back in my Facebook has this intelligent way of reminding things. So it reminded me suddenly, memory, 3 years back, on 1st of July, 2013, you were in Gokhale Institute of Public Affairs. Then I wrote a comment in my Facebook saying that, yes, this is the 7th year they are going to listen to my torture on various topics. And I would always like to be a teacher more than a civil servant. As any teacher who comes to class, the first thing he does is what? What he does first? During my times, teacher used to ask questions. I don't know whether it is still there in schools. The teachers are scared, no? So they will raise the stick immediately, they will get fired, or some case will be against the teacher. How you can threaten the child. So we all brought up in the schools where they'll be in the morning when the session starts, teacher will ask questions on what he taught earlier. So I thought, let me also ask the students of Gokhale Institute of Public Affairs, what were the lectures I had given earlier? The first lecture I gave here was on TDS, tax reduction at source. In what all payments people have to cut tax, under what rate, what is the procedure if my income is below taxable limit, still the bank should cut the tax, or if you have I given a property for rent, that tenant should cut the tax or not, what is the limit? from brokerage, commission. So I was discussing about TDS provisions. My second lecture was a little more broader. I was speaking on life in a taxing world. All of us hate taxes. All of us hate taxmen. But a country like India cannot survive without direct taxes. Indirect taxes may be regressive. That means the money I pay for buying a soap and the tax accompanying with when I pay the tax, indirect tax, will be the same. My domestic help or a person on the road, he also has to pay the same tax when he buys a soap. It is very regressive. Whereas direct tax like income tax is progressive. The more you earn, you pay at more rate and more tax burden. So we are talking about why people evading taxes in this country, what are the historical reasons for that, sociological reason for that. So we were discussing that in one lecture. My next lecture was on rights and duties of telecom consumers. We were talking about in a world, in a country where more than 87.5% telecom services are in the private sector, only less than 12% government sector. Telecom sector is purely a business sector for profit making for the telecom companies. In that context, whether consumers' interests are protected or not. So what Telecom Regulatory Authority of India is doing to protect the interest of the consumers. Then in another lecture, I was speaking on our rights and duties in digital communication world. We all live in a world where there is no real-time friendship or virtual friendship. We interact through Facebook, WhatsApp, and SMS. And all our identity is monitored by systems elsewhere. How privacy and security is ensured in a social media world. Then my next lecture was on alone in a networked world. It is so much so networks are happening in virtual world, but the real love, real care, real affection between human beings are reducing. People like to wish birthdays, wish anniversaries, wish any functions on our phone, and people tend to meet on lesser occasions in physical terms. There is not much of mutual interaction happening in society. So how it is affecting the relationships in the society. So alone in a networked world, that was my session. That much only I noted down. In fact, I had forgotten that I have taken one more session. Only when Ramu mentioned that, I also talked about leadership when the boss is wrong. I had totally forgotten. Just now when Ramu, then I was typing that, yes. I gave a lecture, my latest lecture was on when the boss is wrong. So we all have bosses in office as well as in our homes. How we relate to that boss, how we respect that boss, that is important for our peace of mind. No? So we were talking about that, how we can be a good boss for our wives, or good subordinate for our wives, or in office or outside. What are the good qualities of a good leader? So we learned about that in one of the earlier sessions. Thanks for coming for this session on banking. No, I don't have any PowerPoint this time. All my earlier sessions with the help of PowerPoint. This session, I would like to make it more interactive because subject is very simple. I am not giving a lecture from a podium where I am going to shower you with so much of knowledge. No, I am not an expert in this. I am not an expert in this. I will be talking from what I have observed and what I have experienced and what my friends shared about this particular industry, banking, So we can title it as some banking truths. When I talk about banking field, since all of you are customers of banks, you can always relate to what I am speaking. I would expect you to also to contribute with me on whatever I speak. Anytime, raise your hand and speak. You don't have to even keep your questions till the end. Interact with me. Every institution has certain positive things. I am not saying that banking sector is totally bad. There are a lot of good things happening in banking sector. Today's topic is on certain anomalies which we experience. Since I speak on anomalies, that doesn't mean that I am depreciating the positive things of banking sector. No. Our topic is very limited. Our time is very limited. Today we will focus on how unfair certain practices in the banking sector. I'm sure all of you have bank accounts. And maybe the frequency of going to banks and financial institutions have reduced now. Because we have ATMs. We can draw money from the ATMs. And some of us will have e-banking solutions. So we used to interact through banks for day-to-day banking transactions. But still, all of us have a lot of expectations about this sector. Because money is important for our life. So we also need to be aware of how this sector is functioning. So we will go into some of the important factors that will make us unhappy when we deal with some such institutions. My mother is a customer of several banks because she has taken a lot of loans from banks. She has pledged a lot of jewelry to the various banks. Even now, if I go to my house and ask my mother, she can show me about 20 that jewelry pledging chits of different banks. So, and she knows all the tricks of the trade of pledging jewelry, so that she gets funds whenever she required, and loans also. So I learned the basics of banking from my mother. Even now, to going to my hometown, to go to a bank and do any banking transaction, I am not very confident. But my mother gets very good reception in all the banks. So she can go straight away to the manager's room. So manager will fill up all the forms, everything for her. So that day she was telling me, our car is very old now, more than 10 years old. Kerala government has come with a new rule which says all diesel cars of more than 10 years to be condemned. You cannot ply those vehicles on the road. Imagine, we used to have ambassador cars for 15, 20 years old. Robust car. No accidents. No, it is very elegant to travel in an ambassador car. Suddenly government comes this rule saying, quoting a green tribunal judgment, for good reasons, because diesel vehicles give a lot of, it pollutes the atmosphere. So somewhere we have to start. So they gave the judgment, you have to sell this vehicle. So she was telling for a long time, why not we change our car? I am I'm not a progressive man. I'm not a very, optimistic person. When I compare with my mother's enterprising, quality. Many times she calls up to Bangalore and say, no, we will extend this room to this side, or we will start doing this. We'll have an extra bedroom this side. I will always discourage. I am always a discouraging person, but she will ask all these things. Next time when I go to my house, the room is already built. So I learned the trick of management actually from my mother. So she said, she said, see, I had told you we should change the car. And now you see, the Green Tribunal judgment has come. And very difficult now, what the car which you would have got some good money, now nobody is going to buy. Judgment has come, who will buy the diesel car now? Had you listened to me at that time, no, sell this car and buy a new one, you would have earned so much of money. What to do? What to reply? No? So the more you educated you are, in fact, more useless you are. That's right. So more educated you are, one good thing is that shatters our ego, more you learn, because you will know how much ignorant you are. But at the same time, something called, we try to analyze too much of everything. So sometimes it's better to learn less and be bold, rather than learn the law more and always have this fear of, okay, I know this law, I know this rule, so I should not break it. Fortunately, the High Court, Kerala High Court, gave a stay to the Green Tribunal judgment. When the stay came, immediately she found a person, I don't know whether he never read newspapers, he bought the car for a good price. Now she has to buy another car. So 2 days back I went home for some function. She said, car is sold, we got the money, good money. Now I have to buy a car immediately. So for her everything is immediate, not like next week, immediate. So we'll go and see that. She has already seen the car. She has gone to Kottayam and other places. She has shortlisted this much of brochures are kept already for me to see. She knows I am very lazy. The moment I go home, I want to eat and sleep and enjoy my. So she has already she has shortlisted which car to be bought. She said, okay, these 2-3 cars we have seen, we'll go and see the car. And she wants immediate. I told, if you want to take the car in my name, I am a government servant, I will take permission. Permission and all is not that easy. Now I am officer on special duty. So what happened, I was in TRI for 4 years. Now I came back to department. I am yet to get a regular posting. So whoever is on leave, that post is given to me. Whoever is on leave, that room is given to me. That car is given to me. I don't have anything, it is regular now. To whom I will apply for approval, all these headaches. I may not get approval so fast. Source of funds, everything we have to write. My mother said, no, I will take loan. No, she is expert in banking. Expert, no? I will take loan. She approached nationalized bank, one nationalized bank. I don't want to name because Ramu is videoing everything. When we came this side, he said, sir, all your old DVDs, we have sent to finance minister, cabinet ministers and different people. Since I had to have the bread and butter of Government of India for some more time, I'll be very cautious in saying anything, any reality. So she went to the nationalized bank and asked for a loan. So what did they say? Madam, what is your age? I'm 72-year-old. No loan. If you have any deposit, you give. Anybody above 72 or 85, 90, 95, 102, we will take deposits. We will not give you loan because we don't know whether you will repay. And loan is given for a car. How many bank people are here? Raise your hands. So many bank people, I should be very scared to speak. Yeah, retired. Good. Now, even if the car loan is given, it is on what security? Car is hypothecated. Then why should they worry about repayment? They are worried about maybe depreciation, maybe some diesel car, again some stake comes, petrol car, another stake comes, all these things. But bank said, no, we will not give you. All nationalized banks. And going to private sector banks, the problem, one day you delay the EMI, 25 people will call you from morning. No? So she was very disappointed. What to do? We have money to repay EMI. We are giving car as hypothecation. I have the repayment capacity. I have rental income. I am filing income tax return. From that, you can always know that I have the capacity to repay the money. My son is so and so, my daughter is so and so. Even if I am not, the hereditary property is there, my children will pay. Bank said, no, we cannot give you a loan. My mother is a person who is so independent. She doesn't want others to take loan for her and all those things. She wants to do herself. Then that day she is telling me, I want to learn driving. But I always discourage her driving. He says, I think if it is an automatic car, I think I can drive. How positive, her thing. Then I remembered, after I joined as assistant commissioner in Coimbatore, then I was in Ooty for 1 year. At that point of time, to be respected by my father-in-law and mother-in-law and my wife, I thought I should own a four-wheeler. I approached one scheduled bank and asked for a loan where one of my uncle is the manager. He told me, I'll give a loan. You remember, he is my uncle, he is the manager of that bank. He is saying, you have to hypothecate the car. Apart from that, 3 acres of agricultural land also to be the security and 17.5% interest for a Maruti 800 car. Understand how much trust bank people have on a government officer. If that is a treatment to me, what about ordinary people? Forget about bank loan for car. They need loan for many things. So bank says we are very robust, we are audited, we are very strict in giving loans. We want to ensure that every rupee comes back. Wonderful. We have about 53% of people in this country having bank accounts. And our Prime Minister has started on a very ambitious scheme to ensure that every family, at least there should be one bank account holder. Now we can see the last 2 years. In 2014, we started Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. With that, Prime Minister would like to ensure that at every home, there should be somebody who is having a bank account. And every rupee of subsidy or pension or whatever amount should go through the bank account. Earlier, some money is credited 500 rupees somewhere else. By the time it reaches the consumer, beneficiary, the 500 rupees will become 100 rupees. And it will be after 10 months. Now what government wants now is that moment money is credited, one subsidy or whatever, same time there should be an alert over mobile phone and the person should know that money is transferred to the bank account directly. So nobody takes out the money in between. So banking is very important for everybody. And every person expects bank to be very just, very friendly, very informal, at the same time firm whenever there is some compliance issue is there. I would like to hear from you today, if possible, those who can share with me. This is one area I am working on right now. Tell me, apart from banking, in which area, especially those who are above 65 years old or 60 or 65 years old, which area you feel yourself treated unfairly? It will be a very great thing for me if you can tell in one or two sentences, apart from banking sector, where you find government should have stepped in more for the caring of senior citizens, where we are feel treated unfair. One second. Which is hospitals. Very, very important. Hospitals. Can you give an example? What type of? Yes. Okay. Because I am working on a topic, this I would like to get interaction points on this. Very important point. First of all, you are weak, you are tired, there is nobody to drive you to a hospital. Go to the hospital, you wait in the queue, there will not be any chairs, sit and wait for a long time. So you want to be a little more comfortable, you go to a private corporate hospital. The first question they ask, what? Do you have insurance? Do you have insurance? My father-in-law and mother-in-law, they are senior citizens. They took medical insurance. I said, okay, you will get that 80DD, that benefit in income tax return. They are all income tax assessees. I said, okay, you will get that. Good. My father-in-law was admitted for an infection. I don't know whether you know about it. Scrub fever. I have written about this fever in my blog. I have a blog called Cyber Diary. You can ask. You can check up in your internet. You can search for a blog called Cyber Diary. In the Cyber Diary, I wrote about this particular infection also, scrub fever. It is only, I think, some small insect bite somewhere, and he got entire internal system got crippled, entire thing got affected. He was admitted, and I went from here, called up the insurance people. They told me, no problem, we are going to give full reimbursement. I asked the agent, will you give the money, make it very clear, because then only we will know which hospital we should, how much we should pay for all those things, rooms and all. He said, no, we are going to pay everything. Thankfully, after 1 week, because of good doctors, he was in ICU for about 1 week, and about 15 days he came out without any problem. That is always a serious disease. And my dear friends, insurance company said no, claim denied. At the time of making the payment to the cash counter, they were expecting that insurance fellow will make the payment. They did not come. They gave a silly excuse. Then I had to contact the insurance company, find out what is the reason. They rejected the claim. I filed a grievance petition. No, they filed a grievance petition. I told them to file a grievance petition. So they got some part of the money. Even the so-called medical insurance for senior citizens is very diluted. They take 20,000 rupees every year for senior citizen insurance. How many senior citizens really claim it? And even if they claim it, how many people are getting it? Somebody should make a study on this. How much money insurance companies have taken from senior citizens, how much they have spent for claims. Then we'll understand how much profit they have made on this health insurance for senior citizens. First of all, when they take the application for insurance, they will not ask you everything. What they will do? They'll put X mark here, there, here, and ask you to sign. You will not know what it is. They want only 20,000 rupees premium. First premium, they get 50% for the agent. Most of the premiums, insurance premiums, first premium, the agent will get some 50% money, incentive. So they get their signature and go. When you claim it, they will take out this form and say, you have not seen these conditions. You have signed. Where will you go? Advocate, if you go, he will charge another 25%. No, it's a fact. That is happening in the health sector. Security, health security for senior citizens. Lot of unfairness happening in our health industry. Any other point? Same. Any other point? Yes. Yeah, please tell me.
We are
Yes. Ah. Yes. Correct. Yes. Ah. Ah. Yes. 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 Hmm. Hmm. Income tax payer. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Simply? Ah, ah, ah. Yes, yes, yes. 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 So what he says that senior citizens also pay income tax for many years. It's a wonderful thing. I thought you will be saying a different point of view. Maybe you may be wanting to say, we, yeah. Yes, exactly. Very good. That is the point. That's a very important point you said. Exactly. Very important point. What he is indirectly telling, which I would like to add, which he has not mentioned. It would have been so good instead of this insurance premium deduction in income tax return. For all senior citizens of above 65, their actual expenditure for medicines are reimbursed. Now it has come for people above 80 years. It has come in the last budget. Maybe we have to push for this. Those who are above 65, instead of they take an medical insurance and that is deducted under Section 80DD, can government support senior citizens by giving them actual reimbursement? Let them buy from government hospitals or government approved pharmacy, wherever it is. Instead of getting cheated by insurance companies. Insurance companies, they won't pay also. What is the actual expenditure for a senior citizen for medicine and other health, whatever lab, checkup, whatever it is, give them actual reduction in the income tax return. That would be one good thing. Second thing I would like to add on this from income tax angle, what I feel is that, now it is e-filing. How many senior citizens can effectively, smoothly do the e-filing of income tax return? How many senior citizens know about this TDS reduction and matching it with your payment? Something called Section 26 AS. All your deductions will be in that website. This will be matched with your income tax return. So, whether for senior citizens we can make it a very simplified procedure, especially those who are not having any other income other than pension or whatever. Business income is different. That is one area we can think of. Now, you said it is already deducted tax. Why it is to be again, it has to be filed and all those things? No, that the reason is that, see, there are a lot of people who are having other income. So that also has to be brought into tax. And that is the reason for they are making it return filing. Maybe we have to make it very simplified, having more incentives for senior citizens from income tax angle. That any other point where you feel unfairness? Which one? Ah. Another very important point, my dear Sir Hastal, very important point. In the last 1 year, if you see, the deposit rates of, I think, Public Provident Fund, National Savings Certificates, Post Office Savings, these have been, I understand, I'm not very clear about that, marginally reduced, is it? You're sure? Most of these conservative investments are made by senior citizens. Should have been hiked, actually. This is another important point. Yes. Exactly. Yes. 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 Exactly. 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 Yes. 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 You are right. You are right. Very. Yes. 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 Exactly. Very important point. Ramu, can you give me a paper and a pen? Any other point? You can, during the course of it, you can raise the hand and you can say, because we will. Correct. Yes, senior citizen is already increased, but a little more. That is not sufficient. Yeah. Yes. Correct. Yes. 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 That's the point Mr. Ramu was also mentioning. That is unfairness, actually. Not only senior citizens, to everybody. No, there is some scheme called reverse mortgage. You know, how many of you apply for reverse mortgage? Anybody knows about reverse mortgage? Yes. So that is an important provision where banks will give loan to senior citizens. They can pledge their property and they give money in advance, and later on that loan due will be adjusted from the property value. No, they'll sell the property. So that is a good thing for those who are having very greedy children, who are having an eye on the property. Not for the parents. They are not care about parents. They only eye on the property, and they won't give any money for that. For best thing is to do the reverse mortgage, but unfortunately, I do not know. Banks are not encouraging that. This is another unfairness. I checked up with some of the banks, with a lot of friends in the bank. I asked them, how many such loans have been sanctioned by you? They said, very few. Then I said, why you are not giving publicity for that? No, because less income. This is another area where senior citizen friendly measure was started, but there is no proper implementation in that. Yes. 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 Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Mainly because my father's, at the time of retirement,
Yes.
whatever was his health, and the eligibility in the hospital don't match.
Correct.
For that they denied what he really wanted.
Yes.
My question is, the government did everything for me,
Okay.
but I was not to take my father back. I have spent, missionary is good, CGHS is good, but in assessing an hospital, whether it is competent to do it or not, it's not a one-time work. It has to be done periodically.
Correct.
For the negligence of the doctor,
Correct.
I lost my father, but government did everything for me. So my only suggestion is, when they say when in the mechanism there are so many loopholes, but even within this loophole, when something good could be done, for lack of integrity of the capitalist, who has put in that
Money. Yes. Yes.
he buys the government, puts in the same specialist in 10 hospitals.
Correct.
But that specialist will not be available to you.
Yes.
He will be somewhere else. By the time he comes back and checks, the life will be gone.
Yes.
So even with this poorest of machinery available, funding everything,
Correct.
intentions are good,
Correct.
but we don't get the result.
You know, what is the day today?
Today is 1st of July.
1st of July. Today is Doctor's Day. Today, I reposted my old article in my Facebook. The article is titled like this: why are you in a hurry? Now, this is not part of today's topic, but since Ramu has raised this issue, we all face this. How much time we spend when we go to a hospital, how much time a doctor spends with us. Same thing happens to senior citizens also. How much patience they are showing in giving attention to you when you go and tell your problem. No? Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Now, any other point on that? Yes.
See, when we compare ourselves with all the European or foreign countries,
Okay.
one of the finest thing is it is a matter of shame for us.
Hmm.
Once you become a senior citizen in those countries,
Hmm.
you will be treated as a message there. The government will take
Yes.
some sort of recognition,
Yes.
some special privilege. He did not worry about if the family doesn't take care. He need not worry. Government
Correct.
will take care. When those days will come, he will
Correct. Very good point. Any other point? How is our Indian Railways treating you? Apart from your concession for,
Much better than,
can anybody climb over the Indian Railway train berth?
they're better than the medical service.
Much better than medical service. Okay, but still there is some unfairness there also, no?
There, but not to the extent.
Not to this extent.
Medical certificate worst.
Okay, medical is the worst. So we will move to the next point, but in between you can read.
Yes, I see.
Ah.
Generally meant for employees that which can be extended to the general public or civil citizens.
Yes, I see. No, that is how we have an NPS, no? National Pension Scheme, that can be linked to medical, health insurance and something like that also can be considered. NPS scheme is there, National Pension Scheme. So that can be, they can include this health insurance also in that, and now we'll quickly go to the next point. Now, come back to loans again. Mr. Ramu has told very clearly, I have not mentioned any name. He has also not mentioned the name. There are so many big people who have taken huge loans and escaped the entire terrain and enjoying life. On what security they gave the loan? When they deny the loan to a senior citizen, saying that if you want to buy a car for you, you need 3 acres of agricultural land and you need to hypothecate the car, and if you are more than 70-year-old, we will not give you loan. At the same time, big corporates can get any amount of loan, and as somebody said, our friend said, NPAs, huge NPAs. And for that, now last year's budget, government had to come with a scheme, distress asset, how to protect the distress asset, how to regain the money. So 50% of asset can be shown as dead, and how balance can be taken back. Any number of examples you can see on education loans. Any number of cases of students trying for education loan and that are denied by the respective banks. Some are nationalized banks. And if you have cases of young students committing suicide when the loan was rejected by the bank managers. I'm not exaggerating things, or I'm not telling something fictional. You yourself have read how parents, especially who are farmers, when they want to send their children for nursing or professional degrees, how the loans were denied to him, those people, and how that has resulted into disappointment, frustration, and depression among the students. Farmer suicide, same thing happens. Why farmer suicide happened? Because nationalist banks never gave them loan because no security. And they are forced to take loans from moneylenders.
my side, when you accuse the bank manager and other staff, there is a lot of pressure on the bank manager at every moment of his life. Because there are a lot of pressure from the from political perspective.
Exactly.
You will not be able to
No, you cannot.
go on
Yes.
because they have got targets.
Yes.
All this case, not only deposits, even
Yes. You are right.
so you will not be able to work independently.
You cannot. You cannot.
Even if he feels that he is a deserving case, even in case of deserving this one, he has to sometimes he has to reject.
You are answerable. Your explanation will be called.
A lot of pressure is there
Yes.
in the banking staff, and so many people, even in banking sector, going
Yes.
as a bank officer,
Yes.
lot of people get very
I know. Lot of people took VRS.
they are blamed at every level. From the bottom,
Yes.
there will be pressure.
Yes.
From the top also,
Exactly.
he will be sad
Yes.
between these two.
I know. I know that.
And he suffers. And these suffering, people do not understand the system.
Yes.
People blame only the people who are working there at
Yes.
branch level.
Yes.
But there is lot of pressure. Under lot of pressure, he has to work.
Yes. I got the point.
Things,
Yes.
because he has to work up to 9
Exactly. No, I got the point. See, yes.
not taken care of.
Yes.
Because that is part of the ordinary people. They
Yes.
say that these people are sitting in a ivory tower. They don't come to the rescue of the common man. But these things have to be
Yes. I got the point.
taken into account.
Yes.
When we criticize the people that are working at the branch level,
Yes.
these things are very real.
Yes.
Not imaginary.
No, I got your point. I got your point. So we were discussing and dissecting banking system. We are not criticizing or evaluating the performance or attitude or behavior of individual managers. We are talking about the system. The system has created certain procedures. System has created certain complexities which employees have to follow. I have seen any number of bank managers, they resigned when the VRS scheme came. Large number of bank managers, they resigned. But they cannot take pressure. They cannot take pressure. Because the system was torturing them. Even if they want to be humane, they cannot. So we are talking about the system, not about the individual people. Yeah, yes. Yeah.
By giving corporate loans, an understanding between the board of directors and the manager and with the political support,
Yes.
he will get a good amount of sanction.
Yes.
And when he, as our colleague said, when he comes to some pressure and maybe red-handed, he will either transfer or will be suspended. And again, a successor will be coming back. And when he asked for it, he said everything has been done in the previous manager. And that is how this thing is.
Yes, yes, yes.
Is there any thing that can be safeguarded when one authority has to transfer and again another authority comes in the gap? Has the government, as the law, has got any systematic procedure to plug this control?
Actually, you raised a very important point. That always do some mischief, then keep it hiding somewhere, and the next person will come, he will open the cupboard, he will see all those skeletons, he will say, not me, the other person. By that time, that fellow retired and transferred and he has gone. For that only, we have to have the internal audit and statutory audit strict. Now what happened? So statutory audit is a bank audit is done as per the procedure fixed by ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is an autonomous organization. It's a self-regulating organization. Who is going to punish a chartered accountant if he has not done the thing properly? Government cannot punish. Who will punish? ICAI has to punish. Take the history of Indian Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. We had a series of scams in this country, thousands of scams. Tell me how many chartered accountants were punished by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India? Huh? Yes. But they themselves are the sitting in judgment. Exactly. When this ICAI was established by Indian Parliament, if you see the bill at that point of time, it was written very clearly, this is only a stopgap short-term arrangement. Till the time a good machinery to oversee the auditing happens in this country, let ICAI be a self-regulatory organization. I think something 1960s or something it happened, 70s or something. 1949. Even today, there is no machinery. Now, who has to protect? Who is the watchdog for banks? Chartered accountant. But he wants to have 1,000 files. So, he doesn't have time. So, he will ask the internal auditor, you prepare everything, I'll put my chapa. I'll put my seal. Is there any time he is devoting to check up whether loans given by the earlier manager last year, is it based on proper security? Where are the files? Nothing is checked. Whom to be blamed? Again, the auditor appointed by the banks. And auditor, how the auditor is being appointed is rotation by the ICAI. So it is fairness. Every chartered accountant should get this cake, share of cake. So they'll say, this 3 years you do syndicate bank. Next 3 years you do this bank. Then next 3 years another bank. It is only distributing this type of, distributing the cake. Everybody should get equal. It is not that this person is very good at banking audit, we'll let him put a State Bank of India audit. Not like that. Everybody can get any bank. It's rotation. No? So the reason for that, the answer to that question is this. There is no proper auditing. It is an audit report. The audit report is submitted to the bank. The bank directors have to go through the audit report. There is an audit committee. Audit committee should comprise of independent director. Independent director means a director who doesn't have any share in that bank. He should go through the audit report and say, yes, this everything is right. But when they read the audit report, what he will write? As per statement produced before me, everything is true and correct. So whatever he has produced, yes, everything is correct. Tallying, balance sheet tallying, yes. This is the audit which is happening. Now, where they are going to check whether this loan can create an NPA? Huh? Yes. Because nothing is happening and the auditor wants to be in good books. He stays in the bank guest house. He is treated nicely. 3 days. Taken care of. Yes, everything. And finally, then what qualification he will make? It's called qualification, no? What he will make? He will not make anything. So where is the failure? Failure is regarding the statutory audits. Yes? Yes. Yeah. Yes. 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 They'll give. Inflate. Yes. 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 Everything is over. Yes. That's all. Yes. Yes, exactly. Now in Bangalore, if you want to buy a site or a flat, it is very difficult because we don't know. Every title, every land will have some legal dispute. I know one lawyer, my friend lawyer. You send any property, if you want to buy a flat or property, you go to that, my friend lawyer, he will say, don't buy this because this is a problem. But there is some other people, any property you give, they will put everything is okay. They'll give sign. Same property, two different point of view. And finally that person lands into trouble, who will come to the rescue? Bank will give loan on those properties. Yes, overvalued, illegal title. Yes. Then second part, which many times they do is, as my dear friend from bank said, they are under tremendous pressure to achieve target. So whether you are giving white money or black money, give me money. That's all. No, I have 10 lakhs rupees to deposit, but that is black money. So our friend bank manager, because he is under pressure for target, he is saying, you give us 10 lakhs. We will know how to put it. 49,999 or 14,500 into how many? Ramasamy, Munisamy, Balasamy, Kumarasamy. Bank manager himself will put the names. Earlier I was in Coimbatore charge. Tirupur we have done a income tax investigation. Finally it was led to a bank. Bank manager's cabin we went. The manager's cabin, under the cupboard, there were about more than 500 passbooks. All Munisami, Gurusami, Kumarasamy, all. So to save the customer, they said, don't keep everything in the house. Keep it here. Extra value added service. Now, what I am saying again, not fictional, my dear friends. This which I have seen. Many times the bank managers will become tax consultants. How they will become tax consultants? If it is more than 10,000 rupees interest, then tax will be cut, TDS will be cut. Otherwise, you have to give a form 15G, senior citizen 15H, that was the form number, now the phone number might have changed. They'll give, when they give the deposit, 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs, whatever, they must be having income, good income for the person. But bank manager will say, they'll give the 15G form and put X mark, here, X marks, you just sign. So actually the person is giving a declaration that my income from all sources are below taxable limit. So don't cut tax. But the taxpayer doesn't know even what is 15G. Many times bank manager, to get the deposit, if you go to that bank, they will cut tax. Here we will not tax, we will give you a form. So customer thinks that why this bank is so good, other bank is unnecessarily cutting tax. So many times we develop as tax planners. That is why Government of India introduced this particular thing, that all the bank branches, any person makes any deposit, all will be totaled and taken as a cap for TDS. There's something called cash transaction report and suspicious transaction report is taken from the banks. But many banks, when they send the report, they won't include that. What is this cash transaction report? Any bank, if anybody deposits more than 10 lakhs rupees in their account, the bank has to report in the form of CTR, cash transaction report. This will go to Financial Intelligence Unit of Government of India. From there, that data comes to Income Tax Department to check up, in this account, 10 lakhs rupees deposited. This will be matched with the PAN number of the person to check up whether this person has filed, he paid tax in proportionate to the income which is rotating in the bank account. Same way, banks also have to give suspicious transaction report, STR. That means your account doesn't have much money. Suddenly you sold a property. No, when you sell a property, you sell it for 50, if it is 20 lakhs, we will, registration deed we will write 1 lakh. No, that is the normal 1.1. But earlier we used to put the entire 20 lakhs, why to put in the house? Because somebody will come and take it off, so we will put in the bank. So if suddenly in an account that so much of money comes, that also has to be reported by the bank. Suspicious transaction report. These are not to catch ordinary people, but to catch really the big sharks. But there are any number of examples where when a small fellow puts some 10 lakhs rupees, that is there in CTR. Somebody has put 50 crore, that is not there in CTR and STR. How that is missed? People then they put only for 2 days. Even if it is put for 1 hour, it has to be reported. Again, another unfair practice. When I was in Coimbatore, there was some information came and we found money transfer from one private bank's account from Bombay to the Coimbatore bank, huge sums, and that persons will be coming in big trunk boxes, big boxes, draw the cash from Coimbatore branch, which has come through banking channels from Bombay, and taken it. It was investigated by Enforcement Directorate. Since they want a report, our job was very limited, go and take the statement from the bank and send to them. So we don't have the role. They are not given the role, responsibility for us to investigate. Enforcement Directorate is investigating that. So I went there to the bank and got the statements. I found in an account huge money like 5 crore, 2 crore, 1 crore transacted in from that account. We went and found out who is the person holding that account. He is owning an STD booth. STD booth. His introducer, see, to open an account, there should be an introducer. Introducer's name and address. It's not fictitious because it's an account holder. That person opened the account 1 week before. Introduces. He gave some bogus address and opened an account. And he is the introducer for this. My dear friends, we sent the report. The bank manager is a responsible person. He should know he is an STD booth owner as per the records. How he can get 2 crore, 3 crore in the account? It is being drawn by cash. He doesn't require a training on this to how the common sense, apply the common sense. We sent the report in ED because we don't have the power to investigate this issue, but ED is investigating. And dear friends, after a few months, I got transferred to Ooty. We heard the serial bomb blast in Coimbatore. We heard, I don't know what is the link between these two. I don't know. But how important, we have to be alert. A suspicious transaction happening in a bank account, we have to report. This is very important. Another thing is that NRI gift. You know, NRI gifts were exempt. See, if I have sort of black money, what I have to show is that this money is given to me by somebody else. I show it as a gift. In many parts of South India, series of NRI gifts were arranged by brokers. They gave an advertisement newspaper. Anybody who wants gift from non-residents, please contact me. And all this money came through banking channels. If you want to go and investigate, the person who received the money will say, see, there is a DD. There is a check payment. It has come through banking channels. Now you will ask how bank is responsible. Mr. Abdul Hakim shows in his income tax return that I got 25 lakhs from Lakshmi out of love and affection. What a secular country. Brother will not give 5,000 rupees to sister freely these days. It is accompanied by a notary's signature. Before me, a notary gives a certificate. Out of love and affection, this person has given this much of loan. Gift. So when we interrogate them, they will also give stories. They will say that, okay, no, I know Lakshmi. Whenever I come from abroad, when Lakshmi comes from abroad, she take care of me. Stories. Now, what is the role of bank here? When we investigated, we found all this money has come through NRI account. We found these NRI people, they have rented the account. Some fellows have given the check, 1 lakh rupees gift check, and they have taken 1,20,000 rupees or 1,10,000 rupees cash back. The worst thing is that NRI account is utilized for depositing dollars, illegal dollars in the account, and that dollar for the equivalent value has been issued as a check to the assessee here, taxpayer here. When we verified the bank account, we found there is only $1 in that account. But the bank manager has given a certificate saying that this person has received 10 lakhs as foreign exchange. It has passed through this NRI account number 89 in this particular bank. This is not a story. I have investigated the case. The bank manager came to catch my legs. Sir, I will lose my job. Now what I am saying, sometimes we may have to be more responsible when we are in such positions. And how this audits and whatever complaints measures happening in the banking sector failed to see such things. We have seen these days a lot of scams happening, through the lottery, bogus lottery, where people were asked to deposit money, saying that, okay, you deposit money in this account and you will get this particular thing. Another thing we saw in the telecom days, telecom tower. We got some incidents of people who are advertising, if you want to put a telecom tower above your building, we will give you every month 50,000 rupees as rental income for you. But to get the license, you have to send 2 lakhs rupees in advance. And they give a bank account in some bank in Delhi somewhere. And people from across India see the advertisement, spend 2 lakhs rupees, send it. When an account is opened in a name, within a few weeks, 2 lakhs worth check is coming from different parts of the country, and this money is being withdrawn as cash from the bank. There is no red alert for the bank people. But the entire thing is system based now. Any suspicious transaction they can track. Why they have not seen this? 6,000 crore of Hawala was detected went through 4 banks in Delhi. You have seen the newspapers. One is a public sector bank. 6,000 crore of Hawala money went through the bank accounts. Now SEBI is investigating. SFIO is investigating those cases. In all these series of cases, what we see is that 2 things. As my friend said, my friend has gone. He has gone. There is a pressure for target. That may be the reason that let us have more funds, whether it is black, white or grey, I will take it. I am not going to question. One problem. Second problem, the failure of the compliance machinery. Internal auditing and statutory auditing. Third is inconsistency in their approach. Unfairness in their approach. Where certain applicants for loan they are being given good treatment in the cabin of CGM or senior managers, whereas those who go for genuine loans or genuine assistance from the bank, they are denied of the service.
They have enjoyed giving the bank loans at
Yes.
99%.
Yes.
If they sanction loan, they will be highly partial.
Okay.
They will be a part of that loan.
Yes. Exactly. Apart from this, one more point I would like to say and close it about the unjust enrichment. Huge amounts of money, deposits and money in SB account are lying without the holders. You know that? Huge money which are unclaimed. Yes? They are kept in the reserve fund. Now actually, the government has its own rules regarding that I'm saying. But still I'm saying, how many bank managers take the effort to find out who is the nominee? If the nominee is not there, what happened to this gentleman? Whether any hair is there or not. No. They will not go to that side at all. Your bank account, if there is no nominee, they are not going to call and tell you there is no nominee in your bank account. No. What I am saying is there is some sort of social responsibility is also vested in banking authorities to ensure that customer should get their due, and if at all there is some sort of failure from the customer to comply with the terms and conditions, it is the duty of the concerned managers to tell them, saying that you have not put your nominee. If you die suddenly, no way anybody can get the money. You have to file a case and you say you are in here, and then disputes can come from anywhere. Yes? Yes. Very difficult also. Jewelry, if you pledged a jewelry, I got a live case. Somebody pledged a jewelry and they were not giving back that money. They told, this is my mother's jewelry, mother only put it. I am paying you with interest. He's saying, no way. You cannot get the pledged jewelry unless that person has put a nominee. You cannot get. So, what I am saying to conclude is that, yes.
We would like to listen to your words. One, what about black money deposited in the Swiss bank? Number two, what is to be done with the departition in Malia? Is he not a trader? Number three, these are the days of the inflation. Tens and thousands and millions of people keep their money as FD. In the course of what we say time, the money, once it had its own, value, purchasing value, will be
Reduced. Yes.
after the lapse of 1 year or
Yes.
6 months. Is it not a gross injury to the depositor? You please enlighten.
Can I add one point? The top was, of course, sweet and iron hand, the French relationship. But I think some of my consultants, they are agreeing. There is another sweet and iron hand. The sweet and of the borrowers to iron hand of the investing agencies.
Correct, exactly. Very good. Very good point.
See, whenever a lending decision is taken, whether it is a education of 1 lakh or a 100 crore project advance, it is taken based on certain assumptions. Every single loan is granted based on certain assumptions. In case of a big industry, there will be project report. In case of education loan, there is assumption that requires that a good academic record, he will complete the education, land in a good job, and will pay. These assumptions did not always come true. Now, based on their experience, based on the past experience of the NPAs, every bank has got their own set of guidelines for every kind of, be it a small loan of 10,000 rupees or a project. Okay? A branch manager has to adhere to all this and then sanction the loan.
Exactly.
It is my experience, and some of my bankers may agree, that a picture perfect proposal will never land.
No.
Whether it is a 1 lakh proposal or a 100 proposal, a picture perfect will never land. So somewhere you have to make a deviation, which is left to the commercial judgment of the branch manager.
Exactly.
Now, there is a very thin line between the deviation and addition. The moment something goes wrong, let us say the education loan or the car loan is taking, a borrower is 75 years.
Yes.
Apparently has got all the repayment ability or the legal rights are there. Let us say something unfortunate happens, the borrower dies. The legal rights refuse to pay. And there are a number of occasions where the car is missing or is sold off without registration, particularly the auto loans, some of the attachments are agree, it will change 5 hands without any registration being done. Ultimately, you won't be able to trace the car, you won't be able to store. And then the manager was granted lands in serious trouble because of the expenses. This has created a very
I know, I understood.
It has created a very serious fear psychosis in the operating staff.
Yes.
Now what happens, they face 2 kinds of proposals. One is where they can say no, one is where they cannot say no, because of various pressures. Now, when it is said how people are getting 100 crores, 200 crores, certain things are genuine proposals, certain things, whether it's genuine proposal, there is always some kind of
Pressure.
where the bank cannot say no. Now, wherever some deviation has taken place and the manager has no confidence in the borrower, he will say no. If you have a genuine proposal, I am not telling that. That is the reason why some of the proposals appear to be rejected, even though it merited some consideration.
Correct.
Second thing is, while you were telling about the cash transaction report, suspicion report and all, see, there is corruption everywhere. There is any one department where there is no corruption, whether it is a government department,
Yes.
there will be some unscrupulous people in
Yes.
the bank also.
Hmm.
In
lakhs of people are.
Exactly.
The integrity
Yes.
of every people is not
Yes,
guaranteed.
yes, correct.
Now that 6,000 crore which has happened, obviously it is a malafide of the operating staff.
Yes.
Who colluded with the account holder.
Correct, exactly. Yes,
This can happen
Yes.
in any institution.
yes,
To generalize it and then say that the
Hmm.
bank has done, that is a little bit unfair.
yes,
Because most of these cash transactions, such things are all system driven now,
Hmm.
reports are getting generated. But the aberrations will always be there. Aberrations are there in any system for that
Yes.
matter. And these kind of operations cannot, a general attribution
Yes,
cannot be
yes,
given to banking
yes.
industry based on this.
yes. See, my dear friend, I have told in the beginning, I am only speaking about aberrations today. I am saying there are 99% of banks may be doing very well. Today's our topic is about the negative thing which is happening. This is not a conclusion that entire banking sector is corrupt. No, it is not. We are only picking up, there are certain areas where scope for improvement. Where something which is happening which is very detrimental. No? Some sort of ethical practice is required. Some sort of strict auditing is required. So that we can plug to some extent. As you said, there are a lot of pressures, political pressures. So many pressures come, bureaucratic pressures come. So the bank manager is forced to sanction loans. His hands are tied. At the same time, he will give loan to some small person. There is every chance that he will default. And finally, investigation authorities will harass them. I know there are so many managers got into severe health problem because of this. I understand the situation. That situation also. At the same time, as you said, if there is a foolproof, transparent system in place for all the loans, whether it is small or big, where the top persons are not worried about change of job or a transfer, then they can be more bold. No? So we need such system, foolproof system where manager at any level can take a considered decision and he should be trusted. At that point of time, he thought this person will pay. He has not paid. So that trustworthy. That's such genuine cases. Yes. Government enforcement agencies or bank of management should be tolerant. That is a valid point. And sir, your point, black money, yes, you know that last 3-4 years, concerted effort is being taken by Government of India to get the black money, which is told that is deposited in various foreign bank accounts. One or two important things here. One is that which I talked to you earlier also in this platform. This is being told many months, many years, money is put by X in this bank. If you have put 10,000 rupees in this bank, if newspaper report says that you are deposited 10,000 rupees, we have to prosecute you. What you will do immediately? You will withdraw that money, you will change it. Is it not? I do not know how much of those money is still laying there. I don't know. We have to keep on telling that we are going to get, maybe to some extent we will be successful. But then what signal government gives to the community is this. We are going to have strict enforcement of rules as far as any income deposited abroad. Past may be imperfect. We want to make future perfect. Now onwards at least, nobody should dare to invest something abroad. We are having bilateral agreement with every country. Yeah.
The moment government comes to know the irregularities in this bank, can it request for it to authority to freeze the accounts, no transactions. Nobody should be allowed to
Yes.
draw that.
Yes. And that is what is happening in India. See now what happened, bilateral treaties of what foreign banks you are telling? Foreign banks, you see, there are certain, when these banks have been established, banks were established based on some rules. One of the important rule was secrecy. No. So at that point of time, it was perfectly legal in that country. So we don't have a global government. Every country has their own government. So Swiss government said, yes, in this country, all the banks, you can have transaction, it will be secret. So at that point of time, for that country, it is the legal thing. Now what happened, because of black money everywhere, all countries have joined together, global coordination to curb money laundering, and to stop tax evasion, they have joined hands and they said all the secrecy law should be taken away. At that point of time, it was a rule, it is allowed. So people started investing, thinking that, okay, I am doing legally, I am putting in this money, it is legal there. Now, whether we will be successful in this or not, I don't know, because the investigation agencies are doing it. Government has sent a very strong message. We have global coordination with every other country. Please don't have all these sending money abroad and keeping it. All this tax evasion, global money laundering, tax flight, all this will be seriously curbed. That is the positive message out of it. Maybe during the course we will get some money also.
And the UN is sleeping, actually.
No, that is a different issue. All of you know how powerful is UN. I don't want to speak about that. That is, they have their own reservation. UN member countries, they are contributing. Some countries are powerful, some countries are not powerful, which as a government officer I cannot comment on a public platform. Regarding Mallya, action is being taken right now. You know that. If you ask Vijay Mallya has given a statement about, you might have read it in the newspapers about 4 weeks back. He said, I have not run away. I didn't run away from this place. Last 22 years, I am a citizen of another country. I come only for a few days in India, and my family is there, my children are there. This time when I went, people think that I have run away. That is his statement. That is his statement. I have deposited this many crores of rupees in Karnataka High Court. Why it is not being adjusted? That can be adjusted towards this. In my parent company name, this many crores, I don't remember the figures now. That is also with Karnataka High Court. And I have the shares of the company have been pledged with these banks. Why not the banks sell these shares? Banks start at least some part of the money they will get. Now this is his point of view. This is his point of view. But here also, maybe bank might have been, there may be some delay in the bank to take action. At that point of time, there may be some delay from the bank side. And also, whether shares which have been given by that particular person for giving this loan is still valuable. Shares have been given at that point of time. What is the value that? There should be a continuous assessment of the security given. Bank has failed in that. The concerned auditors have failed in that. I had deposited 50,000 shares of this particular company. At that time, the share price was 100 rupees. Now it's only 5 rupees. There should be continuous assessment of loan year to year. This has to be done by Indian audit team, statutory audit team. There is a failure in that. Third point regarding the bank deposit, yes, inflation takes over. When there is an inflation, government employees are given increment, separate DA increase. Every inflation rate, government servants is given, what they call increase in DA. You also raised a very valid point, bank deposit. Even if I get 9% or 8%, 7%, after 10 years, what is the value of that money? Very important question you raised, I noted down it. I would like to work on these concerns you have raised. So much this country needs to do for senior citizens.
LIC is actually deceiving the people in days of inflation.
The money which we get is nothing when we...
Gross injustice.
Yes.
Is enlightened.
Yes. Very, very important point. Any other question? I remember when Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, he, in a forum of CEOs, he said, it is time CEOs decide that they'll put a cap on the salaries. As you said, there should be some, self-regulatory or self-control in drawing money. How much a CEO can take as salary from the particular company? Very important point that also we may have to think on that lines and put some proposals. Yes. Yes.
When state government demands, the other sector
Yes. Yes.
that there should be a ceiling.
Yes.
See, in India, the person with 1 lakh salary, he can lead a comfortable life.
Yes. So there should be some cap on these high salaries. Yes. Yes.
Even the President of India has got a fixed safety meeting,
Yes.
salary scheme.
Yes.
You cannot draw more than that. The President himself,
So there should be some cap in salaries of, yes. Yes. All the corporate also, there should be some sort of cap. Correct. Any other question? Ah.
Increase the rate of interest on deposits, especially for say, whatever the case may be. The proportionately the interest on the credits or the advances will also be raised. There the question that the
Correct.
basic principle of banking is spread,
Exactly.
like buying and selling.
Yes,
the
yes,
spread
yes.
will be there. The spread will be affected. So the profitability or otherwise other banks also will be affected by great extent.
Yes.
That operation, as he was telling, the operation will get easier.
Very important point you said. See, that case we have to increase the loan rate also. What my friend was maybe intending to say is this. See, no. Correct. Correct. No. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. What my friend may be intending to say is this actually. Of course, maybe you have to, the interest pay out should be proportionate to interest pay in. What my friend is saying is this. Of course, you are getting so much of interest when you pay big loan, disperse big loan to big companies. You get huge money. But don't compare that to interest income you are giving to small people. So what I'm saying, maybe for senior citizens and the like, whether the banks can give a separate interest rate. Little more, so I'm saying, what I'm saying, the inflation will take over, that doesn't have any, so that is one area where he was suggesting that, but then banks, compared to what returns they are getting, whether they can have that much of leverage to give more interest rate to senior citizens, that is another question, unless government supports it. Maybe what you said and what you said, maybe if government can give a separate support scheme for the banks. For this country, there is no social security scheme. Government can say that we will put extra money for any senior citizen who deposits your money, we will contribute as interest, little more, another 2% extra, by way of subsidy to the senior citizens. So banks can get supported. So something like that, I think government should plan about. Yeah, Anil, please.
because the deposit is the safest investment.
Yes.
That is why the interest, you always have a risk and reward.
Yes.
proportionate.
Yes.
Disproportionate. So if you have a low risk,
Hmm.
you will have a low reward. So for the sake of senior citizens, there are other schemes available, and you can always buy for other schemes like debt mutual funds, etc., which are also capital guaranteed, which will give you a slightly better rate than the bonds. Exactly. I mean, we just need to be a little bit
Yes, exactly.
financially a little more literate with this.
Yes.
Because the deposits is a old method of investment. It does not give you always the best return because it's got a lowest risk. And depositors are always paid ahead of shareholders in terms of repayment of their capital. So it's very important for us to realize this and to see how we can path our funds to different portfolios to make sure that it is balanced properly, rather than putting all the eggs in one basket.
Anil is a chartered accountant. Yeah, he has raised a very good important point. So you see the interest rate in India is much higher than, the deposit interest rate is much higher than any other country, most of the countries. There are countries where there is a 1% interest, 2% interest, 3% interest. And what he says that why not we invest in more income yielding mutual funds, etc. But the problem, Anil, here, even if you ask me, I am very suspicious of these mutual fund agents. Very suspicious. First of all, I don't understand what they speak. I think they are outright to cheat me. No. Yes, proper guidance. If my friends, managers here, bank managers, if you can call senior citizens once in a month or once in 6 months, call for a meeting and bring those people and explain to them in simple language what is this mutual fund, where they are going to invest, how much return you might get, what is the risk involved. In simple language, I think most of us, I will also, we'll all invest in mutual funds. But, yes, but we do not know how to do it. like opening a demat account, how do it? Most of the senior citizens, they don't know. So if there may be some intermediary who can open the demat account on behalf of the senior citizens, and bank can be the guardian, as a mentor, as a guide for the senior citizens, that yes, we will ensure that you are not taking any risk, we will ensure that some minimum return will be coming, then I think it will be very helpful for senior citizens, we get more income. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yes. 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 That message is not going. Thank you so much.
Friends, we are coming to the end of this evening's talk. All of us have experienced various schemes, their limitations, everything. Many centuries ago, there was a conversation between Plato and Socrates. What kind of a governance is best suited in this world? So, secularism, capitalism, socialism, all kinds of ism, they think these are the limitations of such a system. Then finally, the judgment is, let the philosopher rule the world. That doesn't mean only the Prime Minister should be a philosopher. Each one of us should be a philosopher. Then only neither we will cheat anyone nor anyone will cheat us. This dual law is always applicable. The problem in our country is we think we are everything correct with ourselves and the external world is cheating. But we seldom think how much I am contributing to that so-called cheat or corruption in the system. If we analyze this, properly arrange our way of life, we may have better solutions. I thank Dr. Sibichin Matthew for sharing this valuable time of his with us and hope that we will be better educated in our daily lives while dealing with our financial responsibilities. Thank you very much, sir.